One kind of biblical commentary that can be found today is what we might call critical academic scholarship. While we at Kingdom of Kings may make evidence-based arguments, our lectures do not fit neatly into this academic genre. We are presenting Torah for a lay audience as much as a scholarly one, and we are also seeking to explore questions related to meaning. How are we meant to relate to these texts? How can they and how should they inform our lives? What spiritual meaning does the Torah wish us to derive from it? Academic presentations is typically silent on these questions. At the other end of the spectrum lies another genre of English language biblical commentary that focuses more directly on questions of personal relevance. This sort of commentary, however, sometimes seems less interested in meticulously examining the biblical text than in offering nuggets of inspiration for the benefit of the reader. It tends to use the biblical text as a springboard to discuss ideas the speaker deems to be of spiritual or religious value. While our presentation is not indifferent to questions of meaning, we try to allow meaning to arise organically from a close examination of the biblical text itself. As such, it does not really belong to this genre either. Our presentation of the Torah is what we will call a guide, an attempt to engage with the original Hebrew text of the Torah. Everything else will revolve around that. Our presentation begins with a number of questions about the biblical text, basic questions that the average person might ask where they encountering the narratives for the very first time. We introduce these questions not in the spirit of skepticism, but in the spirit of genuine inquiry. By grappling with these questions and by paying attention to cues in biblical language, we will find our way to deeper and deeper layers of meaning embedded in the text. When it comes to the Torah, the choice between meaning and evidence-based learning is a false one. To simply use the Bible as fodder for religious discourse is to disregard its depth and sophistication. To confine the Torah to the realm of sterile intellectual curiosity is to similarly misunderstand and devalue it. Rigorous evidence-based study and spiritual meaning must not only coexist in our study of the Torah, but the former must be a bridge to the latter. Our hope at Kingdom of Kings is that our audience can spend their time figuring out what the Torah means to say, providing our audience with a guided adventure that hopefully will kindle in them some of the excitement and thrill of discovering that we have found and also studied from the feet of a great master teacher.